Yo, yo. What's going on, everybody? How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing good. Let's make sure we're hitting like on the video, guys. Retweet that original tweet. We want to get as many eyes on it as possible. Oh. All right. Cool. Hopefully everyone's doing good. What's up, Diego, Darko, Raider, Sick Paul? What's up, bro? Trevor O, Riders mount up. Got some lines to draw. You bet, buddy. Alexander, let's make some dead presidents. Yes, sir. Crypto is balls deep. Whatever that means. Good morning. What's up, Rich? Obvious Bicycle. Jeremy. Bugfish. Confess. Victor, what's up, G? Gregory, what's up? Mattis Hatter, what up? Brench, cool. Cody, Eric, Balale, Carlos, hey. Dom, Guardian, what's up, bro? Winning Edge, Tudong, Recoils. Cool. All right, guys. So welcome to another episode of Markets with Mayne. What can I say? I think we're cooking a little bit here, fellas. So feeling pretty happy with last couple of trades. Been able to share them on Telegram, on Instagram. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, I've been trying to post more stories of just trades I'm taking and just kind of, more quick. It's just so easy to pull out my phone and record a quick story as opposed to be on my computer and, do an entire update and shit like that. So I've been posting a lot on my story, like that long that I took yesterday or the day before overnight that hit 2R. Posted that on Instagram, is on Telegram, Discord as well. But overall, I've been posting a lot more on Instagram, so check me out there. Trader Mayne, spelt the same as Twitter. If it's spelt any other way, it's not me. You're talking to a scammer. All right. But pretty happy with the trades, obviously. So I am actually heading out of town today. Again, surprise, I travel way too much. I hate it. I haven't had a vacation in for fucking ever. All the trips I seem to be doing are for other people. Weddings, events, work shit. Like, I haven't gone on a proper vacation in a long time. But I'm heading to my hometown, obviously, just to spend some time with the family, going through a difficult time right now. So just want to be with my folks and my brothers and things like that. So I'm heading out today. I'll be back Sunday. So it's not going to affect our streaming schedule by any means. I'll be back with another stream on Monday. But wanted to get this one out before I headed out of town. So I'll quickly kind of highlight, where I think we're at. I'm not going to go too far into the hindsight as I don't think it is necessary. I don't know what I just did there. Okay. All right. So I'll start with we'll start with Bitcoin, and then we'll get into some of the other stuff that we got going on. I'll kind of just focus on the majors. I'm going to try and keep this, in about an hour time for the total length of the stream. Real quick, shout out to the sponsors, Prime XBT. As you guys know, these streams have been sponsored and partnered with Prime for going on 2 years now. So I really appreciate the support from the Prime team and everything they've done to me to help me pay for new equipment, better streaming gear, better camera, pay for the editor and his laptop and all of the funny memes that he makes of me that you guys seem to so much enjoy. So if you want to support me, best way to do that is to support Prime. Use the link in the description. Input code Mayne50, get a 7% deposit bonus up to $7,000. So that'd be a 100K deposit. I still have some of those 20% deposit codes. So if you are going to sign up, you want a 20% deposit code, shoot me a DM before you do so. I'll get you set up with that all squared away. But yeah, shout out to the Prime team. Thank you for the support. Let's get into it. So as you guys know, we had the short, right, that I have now fully closed. So I took full profit on my short here. This was a short trade that took an entire month to play out. Very basic 101 trader Mayne setup, right? So we had our SFP on the weekly down to the 12-hour chart. We have our breaker here on the 12-hour right there. Draw that out in time. And we had our market structure break, which is this same low. So we broke market structure right here, which means any of these retests are sellable, right? Had another SFP into the zone. So that was the short I entered. This is June's range. I'm going over this very quickly because we have covered this in the last 3 or 4 streams. This is June's range. We failed at the high. Target 1 is June's mid-range. Target 2, June's low. So once we came into the low here, I TP'd 50%. And then once I saw start to consolidate around here, I closed the rest of the trade because I think we could get some mean reversion before more potential downside. So where are we right now with regard to price? So if you look at the chart on the weekly here, we still have June's range here, which we have SFP'd. On the weekly, we've SFP'd a major swing low, and we're retesting this weekly breaker. So the bullish argument is that this is the low, right? Like, or pretty damn close. Like maybe we sweep this one more time, but the bullish argument is that this box and this run of liquidity is going to be the low before a leg higher. That is the only bullish argument going on right now, in my opinion, is that we have basically put in a bottom here. Whether or not we sweep this low again, I don't know. But effectively, this liquidity being run, and then maybe one more second run of this low, the initial dump, is it. And we need to go up. We effectively need to see what happened here play out here, in my opinion, for us to trade to 32K and potentially, you know, up into here, 35, 40K. This, in my opinion, needs to be where the low forms. I do not think that if we trade down here, all of a sudden we do this. I think if we trade down below this low, the likelihood of us making new lows is substantially higher than it is right now. Because you could argue at this point we have a higher low, and then this could be our higher low, right? But if we lose this area, I think new lows much more likely. So that's why I have 25K as kind of critical support here. If you just put a line here at 25K, you can kind of see, right? This is the top here, the bottom here, now the bottom here again. It's a key zone. We do not want to fall back within this FTX range, right? This is the dump from FTX. Ranged, ran the low, broke out, retested, pushed, failed to make a new high. We're retesting it again. So if we break back into this range, to me, the likelihood of us going to the lower part of the range again is much higher. So I really want to see price kind of hold where we are in general right now. Do we swipe this low again? I don't know. But in general, if you look at crypto, you usually don't get the dump and then another dump to get on board, right? It's usually the spike, that was your chance, and it just fucking rips, right? So that's the kind of PA, the stuff that we saw right here, and similarly what we saw here even, right? Spike the low, reverse. Spike the low, reverse, question mark. So if this is bullish, I think it needs to go up from this area. I don't really want to see it trade much lower. So we'll start with the bullish argument, and then I'll talk about some of the bearish factors that we need to be aware of. Okay, so I know some people are going to say, hey guys, we didn't swipe June's low on other exchanges. So that's why I'm saying I don't know if this is the low according to this Bybit chart or not yet, because some of the spot exchanges, for example, did not run June's low yet. Bybit actually spiked a lot lower than some other exchanges. I'm focusing on the chart that I'm trading, but that's why I'm leaving it as a possibility that maybe we need one more spike lower and then we need to clear out June's low across those other exchanges. That's absolutely possible. But the concept here, the idea on the whole, is that this is where the bottom needs to form, okay? So let's wait and see if that is the case. Now, we have our demand here. We have a weekly SFP, okay? If the monthly closes how it is right now, we'll have a bullish monthly SFP within a monthly bullish order block. So these are all good things for the bulls. You go down to the 12-hour, okay? First thing I did was I said, okay, if we get a 12-hour SFP here, right? I think you can get in a long on the hourly. And that's the trade I took. And I posted this again on Instagram, on Twitter, on Telegram, in Friend Tech. I posted it everywhere, in Discord, obviously. So we had the H12 SFP. I marked out the H1 breaker, and then we had the market structure break. Limit orders were set right there. I gave you guys the entire trade. Stop, entry, target. I gave you it all. I even told you when I was taking profit. So this ran for about 1.5 hours. And I mentioned, I said, listen, we are coming into a 12-hour fair value gap right here. This is a big 12-hour fair value gap. So I would like to see this fair value gap, at least 50% of it get filled. So we just tagged it and we pulled back. And I said, listen, there is a potential that we pull back to the entry here. So take some profit. So I don't know if any of you did. I don't really care. It's not my money. But I said, if we close the 12-hour as a bullish market structure break above this high, which we did, I said, now we have an H12 breaker, which you can see here, that is a stronger setup. So not only do we have our H1 breaker play that we entered on, now we have an H12 breaker play. So this is the up candle before the down move that caused the SFP. So what do I want to see in here? I want to see my H1 play set up. So to me, the setup is super duper clear here on the long side. We've got the range low test. If we can set up the long here, to me, the target is the mid-range. If we can get above the mid-range, then by all means, go and look for 32K. But for now, we're just targeting the mid-range. Even less than the mid-range, I'm targeting about the middle of this fair value gap, which is around 27.5. Okay? But from here to here is the game plan for now. So I'm still holding part of my long that I took. Okay? And I'm waiting to compound on that trade because my stop is quite wide, right? I had my stop down here. I got in here. I TP'd here. I'm still holding some of the position. What I want to see now is I would like to see this low here on the 12-hour get SFP'd. So I'd like to see us trade a little lower, but then SFP this low. And then I want to go down on the hourly and I want to find my entry. So let's assume that this looks like it could do it while we're on stream right here. Let's assume this trades like this, and then it SFPs this low on the 12-hour. Then great. There's my breaker. I'm looking to get compounded on my long here, okay? And then my stop that is here, I would bring up to this low. Okay? So that is the game plan. Okay, I'm gonna boot these fucking spammers out of the chat here. Yeah, stop spamming your shit, guys. Shitcoin Sunday streams, I'll look at your shitcoins. I'm not doing that on this stream, guys. This is for the serious investors, okay? This is for the people interested in Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that is the very fucking clear game plan. If you're not long already, I just explained exactly how I plan on getting more long and how I'm managing my risk. Okay, so hopefully that's super duper clear. I would like to see this H12 low get taken out. And then I will look for my H1 setup, and then I will target the mid-range. Okay? Super clear, super simple, and this is just June's range. Play it as a range, right? If we get bullish, target here. If we get bullish above here, target here, right? If we come up to the mid-range and then start rejecting, guess what? Target back to the range low, okay? This is a critical area. If we fail to hold this zone, the likelihood of new lows is much higher in my opinion, right? So got to be aware of that. But we want to maintain these higher lows or else it's going to be very, very long winter in crypto. Okay? So that's the long scenario. So what is the bearish scenario? And what is the reason I have this here? Well, if you've been following me on Twitter, this initial tweet was about the dollar July 18th. I said, we're at big support here. That was right here. Okay? Big support. Then I said, hey, this is when I posted the market maker buy model. And I said, hey, this looks like it wants to fully be bought back. I posted the, model where it's like this, right? I said, this looks like it wants to trade all the way back to 104, 105. So if you went and followed my tweets, I said, I think the dollar goes back to 104, 105. And this is all happening. So the dollar is putting in bullish price action while Bitcoin is failing to break out. Those are the times when the correlation works really well. People always ask, oh, well, the correlation is not one-to-one. Dollar went up and Bitcoin went up. You got to pick your spots. And the most important times for the correlations generally are when Bitcoin's at big resistance, dollar's at big support, and vice versa. Dollar at major resistance, Bitcoin at major support. Those are the instances where that correlation makes more sense, okay? So my last tweet about this until the one today was on August 16th. I said, the dollar keeps going higher. In my opinion, SPX and Bitcoin is a low probability until the dollar cools off. What happened next? Bitcoin ate shit. So now Bitcoin has had the big dump here that has been reflected in the large up move that we've seen on the dollar, right? There's the Bitcoin move, there's the dollar move. So for Bitcoin to go up, right, and to trade to 32K or higher, wherever we think it might go, we need this to find resistance. And right now, to me, this looks very strong still. The area that I'm looking at is right here, and I see this high right here. This would be an area where I could see price spiking, and then maybe that's where a lower high forms. But for now, right, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green weeks in a row on the dollar. So this needs to turn around before Bitcoin has a shot. The other thing that doesn't look great is equities, right? I drew out this order block. I said, I think we trade to here. Absolutely nuked off of it. Look at that weekly candle, right? That's not a good looking candle with 1 day to go in the week. So we need the dollar to cool off if we're expecting Bitcoin to get a bounce, get some support. But for now, we're holding June's range. But the bearish scenarios are that the dollar looks strong still and equities still look weak. So my plan for the long is purely technical here. I said this in tweets as well. I've been feeding you guys the alpha lately. I said, I'm only interested in a technical long if I see the price action, which I've explained here. This is a technical long that I'll take. Or if we get some sort of narrative-driven move, like a positive ETF decision. If we come out and hear Grayscale has approved the Bitcoin ETF, by all means, I want to potentially long into that type of hype. But the fact that we've had this bullish headwind and the price just hasn't gone up, in my opinion, is not great. So the only reason I'm in this long right now is the technical reasons. Narratively for Bitcoin, I'm not really interested in buying spot here. If we get the bullish ETF news, maybe I'd be interested in buying spot, but I'm not really interested in buying spot right here. I'm only interested in longing this purely based on the technicals. Because honestly, if we don't get the bullish news soon and this starts to trade lower, I don't see why I can't buy spot closer to 20,000. I'd be much more interested in buying spot down here, than up here. Okay, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But for now, I'm in that long that I posted. I took some profit. Now I'm waiting to see if we get a bullish H12 setup within this H12 zone. Okay, that's it. That's simple. Not trying to overcomplicate it. It's purely technical trade. And it's exactly how I've been teaching you guys how I take these setups for going on 5 years now, right? We've got the bullish market structure break, got the bullish SFP. We've returned to the area of interest. Now we need to see if the price action on the low time frames is going to give us that clue that the bulls are stepping in. And what does that look like? I want to see a low time frame low get run. I want to see market structure shifts and displacement. And that is going to be my clue to get involved on the low time frame. So that what I just drew, I need to see it happening here. And ideally the low that gets run, right, are these ones. Like I hope that we're engineering liquidity right here. So I would like to see this, right? Like this is the kind of shit I'd like to see to get compounded on my long and then adjust my stop to that new low. All right. So that's very straightforward game plan for Bitcoin. Otherwise, play this as a range, right? We're in June's range. Very well could just be due for the squeeze up to here, and then we could dump down again, right? So that's something that's completely possible. Like if you look at the weekly chart, big sell-off, broke that low, we very easily could trade up like this, right? Into here, deviate, back in, nuke it. That would look very bad. If this happens, much lower, in my opinion, is coming. But for now, I'm going to ride this long. I'm going to assume that we're, holding this range low support and hope that we can get a little bit of a push up. All right. No, I'm not going to talk about shitcoins on this stream, guys. Sorry. Does the amount that the prime 20% bonus only last for a period of time? Like, does the bonus amount go after some time? I think it does have a time limit. I'll have to double check what that is. I want to say it's like 2 weeks or a month or something like that. And it's obviously non-withdrawable. Like, you can't just get the deposit bonus and fucking yeet it and take it all out. That would be insane. Hi, Mayne. I've only seen these crypto bros entering on SFPs mainly. Do you ever enter on support with a stop below a low when the liquidity has not been taken? You absolutely can, right? But my entire strategy is based on liquidity, right? My entire strategy is based on liquidity. So some people, right, will just say, okay, we've got a good level here and I'm going to long because the level is good. But on all time frames, right? So here's a perfect example. I think. We'll find out here. Here's a good example where it's like this seems to be a key level, let's say, right? You're like, okay, it was, broke through here, support. Now I expect it to be resistance. So you're like, I'm going to just enter here because it's resistance. Where do you put your stop? But what I see here is okay, well, we actually took out a previous monthly high or weekly high. So I bet you if I zoom in to that area, there's a liquidity purge. And sure enough, there is, right? So I don't know, are you putting your stop there? Are you putting it there? But what I know is we took out that previous week's high. We took out some highs over here. I got a breaker play, right? Oops. I've got a breaker play on the low time frame that's going to give me that entry. There's another liquidity run. So like there's always going to be that run on liquidity on a lower time frame, right? So what might look like just a retest of a level on the high time frame, right, is a run on liquidity on a lower time frame. Let's see if I can find another one. So like you might say this is resistance here, right? And you'd be right. But what else do we have here? We have a run on liquidity. We have an SFP, right? You zoom in even more to your execution time frame. Come on. It's not going to let me go that far back. It has to. Oh, what did I do here? What is going on? What the fuck is going on? Okay, hold on. Sorry. There you go. Is this the same one? Yeah. Again, there's an SFP there. Like there's always going to be, in my opinion, at those key SR levels that you're talking about where you want to enter, there is a run on liquidity. And the reason I base my strategy on that is the very simple logic. We ran the high and then we broke back below. The logic is simple. This should hold as my invalidation, or else the trade idea is wrong. If we swept the low and then broke market structure the underway, the concept is we took out anyone who was already long. This is now where the low should hold, because if we come back down to here, then guess what? The idea is wrong. We're probably trading way lower. So my entire strategy is based on blowing out those people who are just entering and putting their stop below low, right? Like if you have a level here, how often have you seen it do this, right? It comes into the level. You're like, oh shit, okay, I'm long. My stop is here. I'm long from here, right? And then it does this, right? And then it breaks out, right? I'm getting long here, and I'm literally using your stop as my entry, right? Or as my reason to get into that trade. So the idea behind the liquidity kind of strategy is that I'm using it as it gives me a hard invalidation, right? Because if you're just entering at support, where's that idea wrong, right? When you enter with SFPs and with liquidity in mind, it gives you the level for invalidation very simply, in my opinion, at least. I'm not checking your fucking coin. I'm not even going to say the name of it because you guys are spamming it so much. Does Zoot mean the same thing as it did 20 years ago? I don't know what Zoot means now. Pardon me where I get a little upper decky in. Little lip pillow. Little upper decky. Back mouth top shelf where mom keeps the cookies. Little Zimbabwe. Little gentle Zin. Little Zinedine Zidane. Sidney Crosby, perhaps. Lionel Messi. Alexander Ovechkin. I've got more. Just ask. Okay. Does everyone understand what the fuck I'm saying here? Your thoughts on the bullish H1 SFP on BTC 3 hours ago? I mean, listen, that could be the low, right? This could be the low right here. We would need to see a market structure shift, but I want to see us run this H12 low, ideally. Sinead O'Connor. That's what I love. I love it. The boys know what's good. This guy says, please give us some indie info. If you want information on the indicator, join Discord. We're going to be beta testing it in there. So I've made a channel where we'll post some information about it. We'll post, things that it's tracking. But it's something that I've been working on with Trader Z, ZS, not SZ, ZS, who's the homie. You guys know him, ZS1. And it basically does all the stuff that you see me marking up here. Market structure breaks, breakers, order blocks, ranges. It will do all of that for you. Okay, cool. Glad everyone's on the same page here. So let's take a quick look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, in my opinion, looks a little uglier. I like that. I like where Ethereum BTC is at. Like, I think that if this is going to go up, this should be the higher low here for a move higher. And if that's the case, you'd like to think that Ethereum USD would start to look pretty good. The setup is essentially the same, just weaker. Bitcoin swept this high. Ethereum made a very clear lower high. But we have the breaker here, this up candle before the down move that took out a low. And we've swept that low here into the breaker. We're within June's range. Again, failed at the high, ran the low. We're putting in the weekly SFP. So the setup is effectively identical, right? But it just seems a little weaker. Like, we didn't have an SFP here. Bitcoin, we had an H12 SFP. We did not on Ethereum, right? We didn't get the SFP there. So to me, I just like the setup on BTC better. But similar to BTC, I would like to see Ethereum hold this kind of general area. If you're looking at this on the weekly chart, we're in dangerous territory here, because this is starting to look like a very clear lower high, right? And if we break this low and close below there, looks bad, probably go down to this low, right? So again, not really interested in buying spot here, because I think I can buy it closer to 1,000. But let's wait and see. And just from a purely technical perspective, I like the setup on Bitcoin more on the long side, but you can trade Ethereum the exact same way. Here's June's range, ran the high, now we ran the low. If we're going to bounce from here, the immediate target is the mid-range. How long did it take you to be profitable after going through the ICT mentorship? I don't know if I have a timeline. Like, I didn't really start making money until I was making money before the mentorship. But the mentorship definitely added to what I do. But the 95% of the stuff I share with you guys on how I trade is all in his, and the mentorship is now free, but it's all from his free content from years before. Mayne, what is a fractal? I mean, that depends who you're asking. Some people think a fractal is like, well, you see how price did this, and look at price now, it kind of looks the same, so the result is going to be the same, right? That's what some people mean. I like to think of the term fractal in that it's either a pattern, right? So like, I call this my entry fractal because it's kind of the pattern I'm looking for my entries. Or I use the word fractal in terms of price is fractal, in that, it's like a Russian doll. The time frames all build on each other, and stuff that works on the low time frame works on the high time frame the exact same, and they all build on each other. I haven't seen you use FVGs. I literally said I'm targeting the fair value gap right here, just 20 minutes ago. But haven't seen you use FVG. What's your opinion? FVGs, breakers over FVGs. It's not that one is better than the other. Find one that you like. My favorite ones are OBs and breakers. I don't use FVGs as much, but it's the same thing. Like, if I show you the hourly setup I took here, right? You have your sweep, right? You have your market structure shift. I used the breaker here as my entry, right? I used the breaker. Well, guess what? Here's your fair value gap. It's the same, right? You want to use the order block? It's the same, right? So they all overlap on each other. The way I like to use fair value gaps is to tell me that the big boys are in the room, essentially, right? Like, that the move has sponsorship. So what I mean by that is, when a move down leaves fair value gaps, that tells me that it is a strong move and the bears are in control, right? If you see a move down that doesn't really have fair value gaps, the likelihood, in my opinion, that this move gets reversed quickly is high. Whereas if a move down has fair value gaps, that's a very strong move. And if I'm trying to get in a long, I want to see bullish fair value gaps get put in, right? So I like that we put in this bullish fair value gap, right? And that's what I want to see here. I literally want to see a run of this low, and then I want to see a bullish fair value gap, and then I want to see a return to that fair value gap and or breaker. Same shit though. Dude, you're insanely patient with everyone asking the same questions over and over again. Love the energy. Bro, you have no idea. No idea. Because I get these questions on Twitter, in DMs. I get them on Telegram. I get them on Instagram. I get them in Discord all the time. And I've got 600 goddamn YouTube videos. To me, it's disgusting. I only have 40,000 followers. I have 600 YouTube videos going back to 2018. I was the first motherfucker on all of crypto Twitter and YouTube posting about ICT stuff. Everyone's doing it now. I was the first. Trust on that. For crypto. I didn't invent the shit, obviously. But try and find someone talking about order blocks before me. You can't. I was doing it in fucking 2016. Okay, so yeah, I like the Bitcoin setup more than the Ethereum setup, but Ethereum, same idea, right? Range play. If it's going to go up, the target would be the mid-range. Now, let's get into the dollar here. Another big push up today. I mentioned I could see us come up into this high here, and this would be the high I'd be monitoring. If we sweep this high, then in my opinion, there's a very good chance that we see some sort of reversal and pullback, which could be in line with Bitcoin and Ethereum getting a relief bounce. We also could technically SFP this high if tomorrow's candle is super bearish, right? So if we get a very bearish kind of close tomorrow and it manages to close back below that high, that's going to add confluence for our Bitcoin long. But if this closes how it is now, to me, this is the high to watch. And until this cools off, there's no 32K Bitcoin or higher, right? Like if we sweep this and then start pulling back, then maybe we start thinking about a swing long on Bitcoin. Just like the swing short on Bitcoin, which played out up here, was based on the fact that the dollar was bottoming out. I took that short on Bitcoin on August 16th, or July 16th, excuse me, right here. What happened on July 16th on the dollar? It bottomed, right? Okay, let's look at equities here. So I had this chart. I posted this. A few people asked me, they're like, why are you not using this order block here or this one here? It's the daily. I like the 12-hour chart, but I said, okay, here's our daily swing from this high to this low. Where's the order block? Right there. So when we were trading down here, I said, I think we trade up to here. And then we got a perfect H1 sell trigger. I did not take it. I was not awake. But we came into the daily order block, right? Came into the daily order block. What did we do? H1 SFP, H1 break in market structure. There's your retest. Nuked it. Where'd it go to? Internal range liquidity. Filled in these fair value gaps. Nuked it. Is it a strong move? Yeah, look at that bearish fair value gap. There's sponsorship behind that move. Putting in another bearish fair value gap right now. So I didn't take this trade, but this was clean. I know some of you took it because I had a few of you DM me being like, hey man, what did you think about this trade? I'm like, it's a great trade. I gave you the order block, and you know, if you had the wherewithal to go in and execute on that, this was picture perfect. The 15-minute was super clean as well. There's your sweep, market structure break. There's your breaker. Here's a bearish order block that caused another market structure break, retest, bang. So that was a very nice short. I didn't take it. Again, not claiming that I took it. Now looking at our structure here, if we close below here, right, that's a bad look. If we close below here, that's probably a bad look. So if the bulls are going to save this, it needs to hold this low, in my opinion, or else this is a lower high and we're going much lower. So again, need to see dollar cool off for this relief to happen. To me, this move up was primarily driven by the Nvidia move, right? The tech move that Nvidia like made. It went up like 10% after hours on positive earnings. So to me, that was what fueled that move. But this was resistance that I had laid out for you guys. I drew the arrow. I said up into here. I didn't take the short, unfortunately. GG to those who did. It's Friday tomorrow. I'm not interested in taking equities trades on Fridays. Okay. Let's see here. That's kind of all I really wanted to cover today. Was the dollar, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and equities. So does anyone have any questions that they would like? The chat has gone kind of crazy. We have quite a few viewers today. Zdeno Chara, exactly, bro. So if I missed one of your questions, if you typed a question in the chat a while ago and I didn't answer, feel free to repost it and I'll take a look. Do you trade low time frame sometimes, like 5-minute or 15-minute? So the strategy that I share with you guys, like the H12, H1 strategy, if you're in the Haven, I've done an entire video using the same strategy, but instead of the H12 and the H1, I use the H4 and I use the M15. But the logic is the exact same. So instead of marking out, instead of marking out your 12-hour range, right, and you're trying to find an H1 long here, this is just an H4 range, and then you're using the M15 for your entry. It's the exact same. So Link's still looking okay. I'm still in the trade. Right, here's my exact setup over here. Right, so it's not validated till below this low, but obviously if Bitcoin keeps selling off, it's not going to work out. But I'm still in the trade. How correlated do you think Coinbase is with BTC? I assume you mean the Coinbase stock, and I think very much so. I really like how this is setting up high time frame. This can trade much lower though, right? Like if this can trade another 30% down and still maintain this structure. Like you could use this order block instead of the breaker if you wanted here. But I basically want to see if we find support in the kind of 50 to 60 area, maybe as low as 40, but I want this to be the low. And so wherever this pulls back to, that's where I want to start looking to accumulating this position. And that would obviously be like if Bitcoin goes to 20K again, this is going to go much lower. Yes, in my opinion. If a candlestick closes as a bearish engulfing, I think we're going to see lower lows because it's extremely bearish in my opinion. Bearish engulfing is generally not good. Generally not good if you're a bull. Mayne, can you chart NQ, please? Sure. So my preferred instrument, I prefer to trade SPX. NQ being more heavily tech focused, right? You can see by the chart here. Let's go down to the weekly. What do we got here? So to me, what I don't like is this. That's a weekly, market structure shift, right? Did we break that high? No. So like this was your weekly range right here from there to there. So we swept up at the highs and we've now broken the low. And now we came up, we took out last week's high and we're hard dumping. So to me, we probably have a new weekly range to work with here, but it's a bearish range. Assuming the weekly closes exactly how it is right now, we've had a weekly market structure break, so it's not ideal. And what a cock tease it would be if we literally made a lower high this close to the previous all-time high. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I don't like that weekly break here on NQ. Like I don't like that we've closed below there from a bull perspective. Down to the 12-hour. Yeah, I mean, this is going to close. Like, that's a disgusting candle. So I would need to wait and see how this weekly closes, but likely we're going to have a bearish 12-hour range here. Friendtech code. I don't know if I have any left. I tried with the Friendtech stuff, guys. I have so many things on the go between streams and Discords and Telegram and Twitter, and then just having a life. To update Friendtech, the app sucks. You know, it barely works. I can't upload pictures, and like all the people who seem to be doing really well on it are like doing all these sorts of giveaways and exclusive content, and like I give you guys so much shit for free. Like, I don't need you to pay me some fucking stupid share price to watch my streams or to get my charts. I give it all to you for free. So I've tried to update it. I'm trying my best to keep up to date with it. Yeah, like it's not high on my priority. My share price is shit. Like, I'm not really interested in like running some scheme to fucking artificially inflate the shit. Maybe it becomes something. Maybe it's fucking BitClout 2.0 in 2 months. No one's talking about it. I don't really know. Mayne, will you share the indicator from Discord Haven as well? Of course. I mean, it's going to be completely separate from anything I'm doing on Haven. Like, it's its own thing. I don't own it, right? I'm working on it. I didn't develop it. Someone else did based on my system, and I've helped them. But yeah, it's going to be completely separate and available to anyone who wants it. Right now, we're just beta testing. We're trying to make sure it works good. Do a giveaway. I just don't really care, bro. Like, I just don't really care to do a giveaway and be like, buy my Friendtech and maybe I'll give you some Ethereum. Like, it's just dumb. I give my shit away for free. I give you alpha. I'm not giving you fish. I'm giving you the fucking fishing rod and the knowledge on how to fucking do it yourself, you know? This guy says, I'm a bit late, but how are you doing, man? I'm doing good, bro. How are you? I mean, how long did it take you to backtest your strategy until you think it's profitable? Thank you. To me, a strategy is not profitable until you forward tested it. It's not about backtesting. Backtesting is great. Backtest away. But you need to backtest and then you need to forward test, because backtesting is easy. It's not real. You can zoom through and you already know what probably happened because you're just replaying price that you've already seen before. The real testing is the forward testing. So how do you know if it's profitable? Test out your strategy for 6 to 12 months. Did you make money or not? Do you do private mentorship for a fee? I don't do any sort of one-on-one mentorship. I am in the Haven. So if you want to join the Haven, you get more of me and my strategy, signals, as well as Cold Blood Schiller, Loma, UB, Krillin, Pierre. So the whole gang of us in there. So if you're interested in that info is in the description of this video. But I have, again, 600 YouTube videos where I share tons of my shit. I also have my free Discord, which has tons of educational shit as well. And that's where the indicator is being tested right now. Did Pepe rug? I don't know. I haven't looked at Pepe in a while. Did it rug? I don't know. I mean, it don't look good. Mayne, on your ES1 short, why did you use 2 candles for the H1OB? I didn't take the short. Keep that in mind. I'm not marking the OB here. All I've done is just short form, right? There's your SFP. This is the breaker right there. Can I refer anyone as a one-on-one mentor? I don't know anyone who does that, bro. I'm sorry. What are your thoughts on the Binance BNB liquidation? So I was confused. Like, I thought we already ran that level. Like, I had marked this level because someone had told me this is where the liquidation was. But I mean, just look at this chart, right? If we lose this kind of zone here, like, where is support? There is no support in here. So you wonder what will happen. How do they defend price here? I don't really know. But I don't really have like a in-depth understanding of on-chain liquidation levels. Like, does that just mean if price trades below here, a bunch of BNB gets insta-sold? Because if that's the case, then yeah, it probably trades way lower. But yeah, if shit nukes on Bitcoin, like this chart can fall very far because there's not a lot of support in this move up here. How is your allocation in your investment portfolio, USD versus Stonks versus crypto? I got banned by CBS on Twitter for warning him that one of the mods is auto posting. Greg, if that's true, DM it to me on Twitter or DM me on Instagram. It's easier. And let me know because I'd be interested in looking into that. In terms of how my money is allocated, I have less than 50% of my net worth in crypto at all. Like I'm very well allocated in other aspects. It's much lower than 50%, to be honest with you. So crypto could go to zero. I'll be fine. Obviously, I don't want that to happen. But I'm older than a lot of people, and I've done well for myself, so I don't need to be fully allocated to crypto anymore. The time of day, Asia Open, London Open, New York Open matter when placing trades. It definitely does. I do believe that you need to pay attention to the time of day because there's going to be periods where there is more volatility and the optimal setups form. However, when you're trading on the higher time frames, it's not as important. And I don't think it's as important in crypto as it is in trading Forex and, equities and TradFi. Do you look at BTC dominance? Not really. What are your demographics? I have no idea, to be honest with you. Mayne, can you look at the silver chart? Sure. Well, that didn't work, did it? Kind of messy. To be honest with you. Like we're trading within a very large weekly range here. Didn't quite run the low here. So I don't know. Not the cleanest chart. To me, gold is a lot cleaner right now. I like the gold chart more. Right? Where we have a clear high. We broke that low, so there's your low. So to me, the gold chart is a lot easier to read. And I would just say, okay, this seems to be probably where I think price is going to try and trade to now on gold. Like if you pull up a chart and you can't easily mark out where you think the key high and low is, the key order block and stuff, maybe look at a different chart. Like don't force it. Sometimes Bitcoin, like right now, I have a better read on than I do on Ethereum. So I'm going to trade Bitcoin. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin's going to go up more. We could pump and Ethereum could pump harder than Bitcoin. And I'm trading the lower beta asset, but it's not always about trying to catch the highest beta move. Oftentimes it's about catching the trade and the chart that is most easily analyzed by you. Where can you see the market structure the best, the price actions the cleanest, and the setup appears the most clearly to you. So if I look at silver and I say, it's kind of messy, I'm not going to try and force a trade here. If I say, well, gold looks better to me, easier for me to read, right? You think real estate is a good investment at the moment? I don't really know much about real estate. I feel like you can't go wrong with real estate long term, but I've been having people tell me that real estate's going to keep going up and that it's going to explode and crash forever, as long as I can remember. Pepe changed multi-sig to 2 out of 8 and apparently sent tokens to exchange. Okay, I mean, I know nothing about that, to be honest to you. SMT concepts relevant for BTC and ETH. Yeah, absolutely. You can find SMT between BTC and ETH and using ETH-BTC, absolutely, and the dollar. Maybe doesn't work as good as on FX and equities, but it does work. I love Mayne. Funniest guy. I'd love to meet you one day. Thank you, bro. Love you too. Mayne, did you ever make that market structure video? I've still not made it, and I'm sorry. I've been busy. Just trying to live my life, man. But it is on my list. My editor made me an entire list of videos I should do, and I've just been so fucking lazy and busy. All right, guys. So that's kind of all I wanted to cover. I know it's a bit of a shorter stream today, but I think there was some good alpha in it, and I gave you a very clear game plan for my Bitcoin trade that I'm in and that I posted for all of you guys. So if you're in this trade too, you're welcome. And here's the plan on how we can compound if we get another opportunity, right? So maybe this was the low, maybe it front run us, but I still would like to see this low get run, and then I would like to compound on something like this, and then again I would bring my stop from here up to here, target into here. All right, guys. So I'm sorry for the shorter stream, but I do got to hit the road. I got a bit of a drive ahead of me, and I was hoping to go to the gym today, but I don't think I'm gonna have time. I got my gym clothes on, not even gonna go. What a LARP. But okay. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I will have the editor post a condensed version tomorrow. If you missed it, can't watch the full thing. If you want to support me, use the links in the description. Haven, Prime, all my ref links are down there. That's the best way to do it. Like the video, leave comments. It's very much appreciated. It helps me out. We're on the grind. 100K is still the goal for YouTube, okay? Yeah, hit me up on Twitter. Make sure you're following on there. I just reposted the Telegram link, so that's on my pinned tweet on Twitter as well. My website has all my links. If you need any information, any instructions on how to get in my Discord, things like that, it's all there for you. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Love you guys. Talk to y'all soon. Peace out.